Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's Damon yet again. And yes, I'm wearing a sweater because it's kind of cold outside and it's cold also inside the house. So it is what it is. To that, I just answered a question nobody asks in case of. And the reason I'm laughing is because I came up with an idea from a friend after a conversation. And he asked me, basically, Damon, we you talked about often about the videos last week, how to make it better. But can you remember? Basically matched in which case the ending was so outlandish that it made you laugh. And I thought, man, I should do a top 20 list of that. And this is where that list comes from. I mean, there's many matches that made me laugh, especially execution. Maybe the execution was bad. It wasn't bad in terms of the good wrestlers that know how to basically make a compelling match, but the ending was ridiculous. And that's where it comes from. So uh, basically jot down my top 20 most unintentionally funny matches. They're not designed to be funny. They're not like Gimmick Battle Royal. The Gimmick Battle Royal was supposed to not be funny, but just supposed or was supposed to be funny, sorry. And yeah, so I don't consider that as being funny. And there's some kind of the Kiss My Ass match between Rock and Mr. Ass. Billy Gunn doesn't consider that. It was just like, eh. The WB basically knew that nobody really won by doing a gimmick, so they like tweak it to make sure that it wasn't really the gimmick. And honestly, I felt like it was a waste of the Rock at SummerSlam 1999. Or another thing, the Kiss My type of matches are not funny, just gross, and it leads to nothing. Like Bret Hart versus Jerry Lawler. First thing I'm thinking myself is like, boy, I can understand Jerry Lawler is a legend. I understand Bret Hart is one of my favorite, is one of the legends. I felt it's a waste of both of them came during. I understand it was a long time rivalry, and it was because Bret Hart was a former king of the ring on two occasions, the only guys who ever won it twice. And Jerry Lawler is the king of wrestling, so why not wrestle like king of the ring? Cool, but I felt like it's a waste of time. It was more about Akushi, and honestly, it didn't work for me. It didn't gel. I mean, their match at SummerSlam 1993 was much better. This one wasn't. Heck, their match at In Your House, their very first In Your House was much better, and actually had the shock ending of Jerry Lawler beating Brett. But that's not to me an hilarious. To me, hilarious has to be a match that's not supposed to be hilarious. That somehow, somewhere, we watch it on YouTube or if I watch it live, and I would crack up in laughter. So without further ado, here goes my number 20. Number 20 might be one of the most recent on the list. Not the most recent, but one of the most recent. The X Division Asylum match on January 4th, 2010. Back then, basically, on that day, there was one of the few times I thought the Monday Night Wars are back, at least for one night only. I mean, WWE back with Bret Hart as a guest host after not being on WTV for like 13 years, and you got Hulk Hogan and the NWO debuted on TNA. The guest host era of WB, which wasn't that good, but felt like at that time was we gonna take what we can take because Ring of Honor is not exactly really on TV, or if it was, it wasn't available in every city, so you had to catch a glimpse of here and there, but not the whole thing. And you have TNA, which was, let's be honest, the later half of 2009, I felt was TNA was kick ass, and then Hogan and Bischoff showed up. And what a great symbolization of what TNA became then by the cool, basically the cream of the crap in terms of the Asylum match. Here are 10, I think I don't remember every cruiserweight that was associated with that match. It was Jay Leto, there was Consequences Creed, Xavier Woods and WWE. You had Homicide, you had Homicide played a great role there. You had I think Shark Boy, uh you had Petey Williams. I don't remember everybody else, like Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley. And then a no DQ cage match. The match ends with a DQ when Homicide picks a random weapon and hits everybody with it. And just to top it off, you think, okay, he's gonna escape the cage regardless. He's gonna show up that he wins. He's not able to climb the hole to leave the house. He couldn't do this. He couldn't even leave this. It's a huge fail on everybody's part. I mean, he tries to impress somebody and it's failing. And it's like Jeff Hardy then showed up, did his running, sits on top of the cage because he couldn't bear to go inside the asylum. And Jeff Hardy was one of the top two, if not the top babyface of 2009 debut. in the opening match of TNA and to do nothing. Like I know Jeff Hardy is an icon of wrestling, but it's like let's be honest, that debut did not do him any favor. He looked like honestly like low in the totem pole of main eventers right from the get-go. I mean that episode, too many people debuting, and it's like it diluted the aspect of this. I think that Ric Flair, that Jeff Hardy, Val Venus, in 2010, Val Venus, Hogan, Scott Hawk, and X-Pac returns, Eric Bischoff. Too many people all at once. And I don't know if somebody else debuted, but it's all at once. So, but it was still hilarious. Number 19, Sid versus Hercules in Madison Square Garden 1992. Why is it hilarious? Watch the match. It's 30 seconds long. Hercules supposedly was, I'm not sure if he had evaluation, basically a job evaluation by McMahon and Mr. McMahon, and was told they wouldn't renew his services, and it showed on his face when he faced on against when he faced against Sid. Sid, being the heel, offers Hercules a chance to go to the bag, get counted out, and he doesn't touch him. But Hercules, despite being a heel, he's not going to back down. Punched several times, uh, Sid, and within 10 seconds, Hercules tries an Irish whip, but Sid reverse delivers a boot, power bomb, one, two, three. What's hilarious? Irk didn't calibrate, so he doesn't enjoy losing 10 seconds. Honestly, the way he was built up in WB around back then, why should he be joyous or joyful to lose in like 10 seconds? And then the moment the power bomb and the pinfall hits, in the background you can see Hercules getting up and just leaving the ring before Sid. And that to me is hilarious. Like he knew he wasn't coming back. He knew after that show he was out. And it's hilarious. Number 19, Sin Cara versus Alberto Del Rio. Shout out to Schleg Daddy, OTR Central, because I thought Sin Cara, his WWE run was awesome. Sin Cara faced Alberto Del Rio. I think he was just coming back from injury. Alberto Del Rio was like, it was the Raw after SummerSlam 2013. Yeah, the night after Daniel Bryan got screwed. And out of nowhere, I think Sin Cara did a plancha to Alberto Del Rio. All of a sudden, Sin Cara signals to one of his finger being hurt, and he wants to stop the match. And afterwards, Alberto Del Rio decides, you know what? Screw you, and basically delivers a lot of stomps on Sin Cara, and basically as it's for the DQ. And it was hilarious that Sin Cara comes back from injury, botches, gets injured again, and he injured his finger. And it's like all of a sudden, rather than basically finish the match. You know, he could have basically said, basically had an audible and say, you know what, do in the ring, basically, I don't know, get me back in the ring, do that Instagram you do in 1, 2, 3. Could have easily done that. No, like at least finish the match. And before anybody asks, Bianca Belair finished our match at WrestleMania 41. Imagine if she did the same thing. She said, my finger, stop the match. No, because Bianca Belair is tough, is courageous, and she's using. She might be injured, but I also believe at the same time she's using that time because she's been a great ambassador for WB that she knows she takes some time off. Sin Cara was an ambassador to WB. He just did his match and left, and even then he got hurt most of the time. So I don't give the same benefit of doubt. And it makes me laugh that people today say Mystico is one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's always going to be Sin Cara to me. He's always the same guy who didn't want to improve in WWE, didn't want to basically adjust to this, to the rings, and all of a sudden people, because he's great in CM, he's good in one environment, CMLL, we're supposed to kiss his ass. Screw that. Sin Cara is Sin Cara. Mystico is Sin Cara, and it's hilarious to me to this day. Number 17, from Heroes of Wrestling 1999. Yes, you could have picked out a lot of things on that card, but I'm picking the main event. Jake Roberts versus and Yokozuna versus Jim Neidhart and King Kong Bundy. And people could fall apart and say, oh, this is because Jake Roberts. No, everybody on that main event didn't seem, quite honestly, like they want to be there. Jake Roberts, a good pre-pay-per-view promo when he was feeling it, was not under the weather. But then the moment the pay-per-view started, he seemed to be under weather, evidenced by his awesome promo of, if you get 21, I got 22. Want to play blackjack? I got two of those too. Want to play aces and eights? I got two of those too. Man, Jake Roberts predicted aces and eights in 1999. And he predicted it wouldn't be a good thing in 999. Maybe we should have listened to this. That's why people should listen more to Jake Roberts when he talks about wrestling. Anyway, the match, Jake Roberts and Yokozuna. It was supposed to be Jake Roberts taking on King Kong Bundy. I think it was Jake Roberts was King Kong Bundy, or Jake Roberts. Yeah, Jake Roberts was King Kong Bundy. But Jake wasn't there. At first, he goes to the ring, and okay, then pulls up a snake and pulls a snake in the ring, and then goes to the back for some reason. And the commentators basically pretended it was psychological war play with basically was psychological games play mind games played by Jake Roberts, and out of nowhere his music still plays and you see him jogging back to the ring. Jake Roberts and jogging just made me laugh there together, but then he goes to the ring and it made me laugh that okay, he wasn't cooperating. So Jim Neidhart out of nowhere comes out, and you could tell Jim Neidhart, despite the past issues, was pissed because he was laying in pretty hard with some chair shots back on Jake Roberts, and then Yokozuna appears. Yoko never was tagged in the match because he wasn't in great shape, so nobody was in great shape. I think Jim Neidhart was the best shape of those four, and even then, and it makes me laugh that. I think Jim Neidhart was the legal man, and makes me laugh that Yokozuna never tagged in, and King Kong Bundy wasn't the legal man, and King Kong Bundy pinned Jake Roberts out of nowhere. And after the match, they tried to get the manager of Jim Neidhart and King Kong Bundy to the deliver DDT, but he refused to. He doesn't want to do it. So Yoko was forced to give him a someone drop. And it wasn't just the way the pay-per-view ends that's so like they're so embarrassed of the behavior, but the behavior before it gets to the ring. Like even the fans were embarrassed by Jake Roberts that night. And I know Jake, I love you. You're one of my favorite wrestlers. You're my favorite promo ever. And I'm really proud of you for all the work you've done to improve this, and you deserve every bit of the praise. But let's not forget at 999, that behavior, that showcase was not exactly your best was not the best image I got of Jake Roberts. So it's not really mocking, it's just saying it was hilarious. And if people don't like it, well, get a sense of humor. It was hilarious and it's still hilarious. Number 16 from Saturday Night Main Event in 1886. Sorry, in 86, not 1886, because I don't think it'd be on YouTube by then. Uncle Elmer versus Jerry Valiant. It's the infamous Uncle Elmer wedding, and it makes me laugh that it's a match of just one move. It's ding ding ding. The bell rings. Uncle Elmer just grabs a body slam and pins Jerry Valiant. I always thought it'd be more hilarious if Jerry Valiant tries a clothesline and just Uncle Elmer fell on him in 1, 2, 3. Like it felt like the laziest match ever. Like why do you even bother there? Why don't you just have the wedding and be done with? No, you have the match where it ends with a body slam. One of the first time in life, in my in my viewership, in my history of viewership, that I've ever watched a match and via body slam only. And it was hilarious. It was glorious and hilarious. That's on Coleman. That's number 16. Number 15, uncensored 995. Sure, you get plenty of options, and there's more than one option there. That's the only pay-per-view that have more than one option I'm going to put on my list. I put Dustin Rhodes versus Blacktop Bully. Keep in mind, this match is the reason why I got Goldust in the WWE. So that's very important and very hilarious at the same time. I mean, Dustin Rhodes was in a feud with Robert Parker and his charges, whether it was Mang, which was Arn Anderson, and now it was Blacktop Bully, aka Repo Man, aka All in One Bear Dorsal, aka Smash and Demolition, aka Khrushchev. And it's a match that's like it's hilarious because it has no continuity. If you watch movies like I do, you like, hey, they're fighting. First of all, it's the morning. Then afterwards, it goes to basically dark. It's in the late evening. It's like, and then afterwards, the next shot you see later that night, it's back to morning again. Like it has no continuity. It's hilarious. It's the same thing as Homer Simpson, basically in the episode of where basically he's accused. Where he's basically on I think True Line. Basically, you see like the clock window just moving fast forwards, like in the sweet can, and sweet, and you see like the basically the clock basically the clock's the arrow of the clock basically just moving back and forth. That's the same thing to me. It was hilarious. And to further all off, to further it all, to make it even more hilarious, Dustin Rhodes thought it was a great idea to blade for that match, and the match ends with an eye rake. Like, and that's it. And then he pulls on basically the horn and woo, and the match ends. And you wonder why I love WCW Uncensored. In today's age, WCW Uncensored to me is a must watch. A must watch if you want to laugh. You're always going to be entertained. You're going to say, what the hell is that crap? But you're going to be entertained. And that's what it comes down to. And if it wasn't for that match, Dustin Rhodes would still be languishing in WCW without being Goldust. Imagine that. That's number 15. Number 14, also from Uncensored 95, is the main event. It's a strap match, brother. It's Hulk Hogan versus Vader. And Hulk Hogan has a glorious history with strap matches, which we'll see later. But now, he wrestles Vader in a strap match. The current WCW United States champion, Vader, facing against the current WCW World Heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan. And it's going basically, Hulk Hogan basically he's getting the best of him, but it's like Vader is still there. He's not going to be pinned. He's not going to take this. And for no reason, I mean, in a strap match, you both opponents are supposed to be locked by the strap. Have both their wrists locked by the strap. And you're not supposed to take it off until the match is over. Well, for some reason, because it's uncensored, somehow, somewhere, Hogan thought it was a great idea to take it off Vader, put it on Ric Flair, and basically throws a retired at that time Ric Flair in the ring and basically beats him down, does a big boot leg drop, and touch all corners. And he's still the referee thought it was so uncensored that he made him win the match. How stupid is that? It still makes me laugh to this day because it's like, hey, it's not it doesn't even respect its own finish. So I don't know. It's just so hilarious there. It doesn't respect basically its own rules. Sorry. I mean, it's supposed to be drag your opponent. Vader was not the opponent. Vader was the opponent, not Ric Flair. And still, you see me stumble to my words because I keep trying not to laugh out loud right now. And Hogan wins, and his character acts like he beat the odds when he did nothing. He didn't beat the odds. It'd be like, I don't know, it'd be if let's say Barrowitz versus Brock Lesnar, and Barrowitz basically wins this single match against Brock Lesnar, but Barrowitz pins Paul Heyman. And you'd be thinking, what the hell? Did nobody check up on that? That's how it feels. It's a huge continuity error. It's like, it's WCW, baby. Yeah. And it was so hilarious from the get-go. Number 13, from October 1995 on WCW Worldwide, Dave Sullivan versus Big Bubba Rogers. R.I.P. Big Bubba Rogers, Big Boss Man. I mean, you could tell in WCW that Big Boss Man was motivated, like you'd seen in the early 90s. Then he goes to WCW, was motivated till 1995. The moment you joined Dungeon of Doom, you could see he wasn't motivated. You could feel it was just phoning it in. Then he became a bit more motivated, he became again Ray Trailer, but when he was Big Bubba Rogers, he did not feel motivated. He had a feud with Dave Sullivan, aka Evad Sullivan. By the way, put him in the Hall of Fame, please. I Want to Be an Alchemaniac was one of the most hilarious songs ever. But this isn't just starts and ends there. He comes with Dave Sullivan, Evad Sullivan comes in with a rabbit. And that's important there. It's very important. Comes in with a rabbit. And Big Bubba Rogers comes in the ring. And you expect basically maybe the babyface is going to win. No. Big Bubba Rogers hits the boss man slam. He's about to win. All of a sudden, he breaks out and starts scratching himself. I think he yelled at the camera, I'm allergic to rabbits. It's like, first of all, a tragic storyline brought up out of nowhere. Second of all, nobody's looking into this. Third of all, the commentator sees this as a nothing big deal. And it's never explained why. It's never explained how come. It's never explained that if he has an allergy, why does he say to the referee they can't wrestle because of his allergy? No, it's never brought up. It's WCW, baby. So, where the big boys play, cue the adjective, play. And it's like, so hilarious. Like, if you watch this, it's such an hidden gem in WCW, but it's like, I don't think that's the reason it went under. It was bad investments. If they kept a little bit of that crap, honestly, I think many people would have been enjoyed basically by that the believe or not bits of crap that people will actually love it. There's a bit of wrestle crap which I feel can actually help. You need to suit the soul people, and sometimes laughing is great. I mean, This is what movies today and wrestling she needs to remember. It's not always about being always serious, having 10,000 move set or having tons of exposition in the movie being explained. Sometimes you need to laugh at times and right moments. And that was one of them. Number 12, Hulk Hogan vs. Ultimate Warrior. What? What? I'm going to put WrestleMania 6 on there? Despite some funny moments that match, no, it's not WrestleMania 6. It's a very good, it's a match WrestleMania 6 that I didn't appreciate as much back then as I appreciate now. I used to, when I rented the tape, yeah, when people in the 90s, they rented tapes. They didn't watch YouTube, they rented tapes. And when we rented it, we loved the match. Me and my brother loved that match. We prefer Hogan with Savage, still do, but it's like there's things we thought, hey, they doing the same moves to each other. Yeah, but they were supposed to say that one is rivaling the other one. And we didn't get it first. And we also had the great decision because some tapes, some videotapes of wrestling videotapes weren't available to one video store, and there were another one. We actually watched WB backwards. We watched like Royal Rumble 93, then Royal Rumble 91, 92, 91, 90. So we didn't even know why this person was a face now in the future. Why they're a heel back then? That's intriguing to watch for you guys if you ever did this, but it's like it's very, very confusing if you were to do it today. Anyway, it's on Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania 6 that's in question. It's Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior at Halloween Havoc 998. I mean, that show had Bret Hart versus Sting, Goldberg versus DDP, Rick Steiner, and Buff Bagwell versus Giant and Scott Steiner. There was a lot of good match on that show. I was surprised to watch that, and it's like I was very surprised with the quality of the card. Yet Chris Jericho versus Raven, Disco Inferno versus Kidman. I'll say it, Disco Inferno still has to me the best swinging neck breaker ever. I have to give him that. And his pile driver always crisp. So the title matches were good. And then you had Hogan versus Warrior. I mean, all of this, it's like Warrior also was injured due to fall brawl incident because of the damn cage. I mean, fall brawl resulted in a lot of injuries. Then afterwards, in the match, Hogan tries a fireball that goes half a heart. At least nobody was hurt, but it's like it singed, supposedly singed a part of his eyebrow of Hogan. But it's like he tries, it fails. At least they never tried to do it again. At least they had enough uh, common sense not to redo that spot like many people would do today. They would redo that spot until they get it right. No, they decide, you know what, it didn't work. It's a fail. Let's move on to something else. But it leads to Horace Hogan, who was beaten down by the NWO Black and White, Hollywood, by on Hulk Hogan's request, I think on Nitro, when he said, "If I can do this to my own nephew, what would I do to you, Warrior?" And Horace Hogan decided just he boinks Ultimate Warrior in the face. It didn't seem like a big one. It's like, and afterwards, Hogan pins Warrior, and Hogan says to Horace, "Horace, you passed the initiation, Horace," and that's how Horace Hogan joins the NWO. Never mind the fact that the Ultimate Warrior decided to create the One Warrior Nation and add another member. Like there was two members, the One Warrior Nation. That's as stupid as having five people in the Four Horsemen. Ah, oh God, it was awful, but it was still entertaining. And the lead up to this, like seeing the war in the mirror, and nobody can see it, but the Bishop cannot see it, but Hogan, the fans can see it. Oh my God, was this horrible? Like, can you just say to one thing? I mean, the Warrior was paid handsomely, and pathetically enough, he was just paid handsomely just for Hogan to get his win back, butter, because it was haunting him for the rest of his life, supposedly. Boy, he was hilarious. 11, a less known match, but still hilarious to me, would be Fred Joe Flaherty, the late great Tracy Smothers facing Triple H on the Raw before Buried Alive 996. Why did I pick that match? I mean, I discovered it through Deadlock PW. A shout out to you guys. You're awesome and you're hilarious. It's that match that where Freddie Joe Flaherty said, you know what? I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm not gonna just going to pin and roll over and for the cover. I'm going to fight back, damn it. And you see him fight back. At first, you see Babyface fire, but he was used as enhancement talent. You think, okay, he's going to lose. And for no reason, he does a kick, basically, a kick that basically resembles, like, I don't know, like he does like a ghetto blaster type of move. Okay. Then, oh, I think Triple H does I don't know which move. Then he goes look over to Mr. Perfect was trying to steal a lady of yours. Then, but from behind, Freddie Joe Floyd just never let go. He wasn't like an innocent talent just gonna stay in the ground. No, he is gonna pursue Triple H. He's gonna beat him up. He does a 10 punch a corner. Triple H would fly with a Manhattan drop, and I think does a pedigree, and it's the best moment of the match. As Triple H goes to the pedigree, does the pedigree, one, two, and Freddie Joe Floyd kicks out. Yeah, Freddie Joe Floyd is the answer to trivia question of who kicked out of the pedigree for the first time. It's Freddie Joe Floyd for no reason, and it still makes me laugh. The first time we saw that superstar, me and my brother were saying, "What just happened?" We all expected, hey, it's the pedigree. It's been established in the main event as a basically a finisher that people did not kick out of when it's people cover him. And this guy cooks out, and Freddie Joe Floyd was losing like crazy before him, and we laughed. And then he stays in the ring. Mr. Perfect goes away with the lady. Triple H chases him and gets socked in the face by Mr. Perfect, which leads to a count of victory by Freddie Joe Floyd. Awesome match, awesome, awesome match. So that's for number 11, and I realized that Triple H did not just have this goodness, this one goodness match in 996. He had another one, and I'm going to show them later. So now we go to the top 10. Despite people complain about AEW, we like one spot of AEW. One. And that's the next one, because it was a main event of a pay-per-view. It's, of course, the AEW Revolution 2021 main event of Kenny Omega defending the World Heavyweight title Jon Moxley in an exploded death match. Barbed wire death match. The match was good, and then the finish happened. And honestly, imagine a movie, basically a serious movie. Imagine this. It's a serious movie. There has to be a big blow at the end. And the CGI effects are so bad. You'd think they were done by, I don't know, PowerPoint or something, or they do it with Microsoft Paint. That's how it felt. Like, that's how it felt. Yeah, pss, pss. And the fact that Tony Khan, the moment he was basically confronted on this, or people just call him out on it, was banning people from YouTube, but basically asking them to get a warning on YouTube, like a crybaby, like a true crybaby, which is hilarious. Can you just accept that it's a part of wrestle crap? Pleasant wrestle crap. I mean, in today's age, we need to take basically the wisdom we can get, the enjoyment we can get. I mean, I can watch some movies that are so awful, and I'll take them as win. I mean, War of the Worlds with Ice Cube was so bad, it's great. Neil Breen movies are as awesome that way. Why can wrestling sometimes have this? It's okay to not always hit all cylinders all the time. Sometimes it's good, and honestly, should get less than AEW. Less is more, and I'm not saying about matches though. You can have 10 matches per pay-per-view, but maybe not try to have all your matches be the same type of basically internet darling match. You know, have your matches be basically one style, the other style, maybe hard hitting, the other one basically like more rough housing, the other one can be high flying, the other one can be technical, and maybe have a comedy match from time to time. That's okay, that's fine. So yeah, that's number 10. Number 9, Hulk Hogan vs. Giant Hollywood Havoc 1995. It's not just the monster truck match. I mean, that served no purpose. It was surprisingly boring. It leads to Hogan and Giant fighting near the edge of the building. All of a sudden, the oak like the way the Giant like Big Show choreograph his fall like and then you have Hulk Hogan going and try to grab his hand from falling, and then he comes out later in the match, the night, like nobody calls the police. Nobody decides, hey, you know what? I think we saw somebody fall. Nobody calls the police. They just go on the rest of the pay-per-view, and it's like Hogan just grabbed the mic. I'm sorry. And basically, he's all contrite to what happened. And then you hear the Dungeon of Doom awesome music where it says Kevin Sullivan laughing through the whole way. You have Giant come out, not being wet, not being anything. Probably stinky, but not anything else. He comes to the ring, not vengeful, not basically angry, not pissed. He just comes to the ring as if nothing happened. They go on with their match. And this is the match where Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Hart decides, I'm going to turn on Hulk Hogan for no reason. And Lex Luger also does a heel turn the same night for no reason. And then it leads to the Yeti. and Giant doing the double hug, and basically both hugging, doing a bear hug, both bear hug, one from behind, front, one from behind, and basically Hogan is like the meat in this sandwich, and it's revealed that Hogan lost by DQ, and somehow, someway, because of Jimmy Hart, title can lose by can change by DQ, which was never mentioned apart from the Nitro afterwards, and afterwards was promptly forfeited, which was never mentioned again. And you wonder why I'm laughing? God, it was awesome. It was such awesome. This is where I could see Vince say it's such good, you know, because it was awesome. But I want to speak on WCW. Number 8 from WWE. The Raw immediately after Survivor Series 1997. Ken Shamrock beats Triple H in a match. And the reason why it was, first of all, Ken Shamrock seems to be on the offensive. On the offensive, he seems to be able to win, but Sean, I think, interfered. I don't remember what he did. But Triple H then covers Ken Shamrock 1-2 kick out. The problem with this is the show ended after that kick out. We never saw the rest of the match. So it was bad editing. So that started basically number one. Number two, I don't know where the referee gets knocked out, and it leads to Sergeant Slaughter inserting himself as referee for no reason. Okay. Ken, I think, delivered, like, I don't know what, a Rick Renner or a belly suplex. Then Sean tries to interfere, and Ken Shamrock decides a good answer to that is to roll up Shawn Michaels, and Sergeant Slaughter calls the 1, 2, 3, and Ken Shamrock beats Triple H by pinfall when Ken Shamrock pins Shawn Michaels non-implicated match after a non-referee makes the count. I love WWE, especially 97, but it doesn't make him immune for any crap. That makes me laugh to this day. Like, it makes you really rethink sometimes of the crap that we allowed ourselves, because hey, it's Attitude Era, most of it good, but some of it is really bad. And as much as I love Ken Shamrock, that doesn't establish him as a main eventer. That established him as basically like it felt like a charity win for the world's most dangerous man. He deserved much better there. So that's number six, eight. Sorry, number six though. Number seven. Sorry. Number seven is Sin Cara versus at Survivor Series 2011. Why do I say this? Was it really the match or the ending? I don't know, but it's the ending of Sin Cara in that match. Sin Cara didn't do much. Then he hurt. Then he runs. It supposedly hurt his run, and he hurts his patella running, and it makes me laugh this much because it's not just this. It's on Wikipedia. It said the first thing, way of order of elimination, way of elimination of Sin Cara, botched under the move. Now it's been removed from this, but it's like still was hilarious at the time. So I have to put it on there. That's number seven. Number six, I was hesitating about five and six, the order of it. But since one of them is more important long run, I'll put number six as this. One that's not as mentioned often. Sid versus Triple H, champion versus champion on December Raw of 1996. Sid was like a psychotic baby face. They tried to make him a heel, but people didn't buy into it. They want to keep him as a face, as rightfully so. He was cheered out of the building at Survivor Series 1996 when he beat Shawn Michaels, my favorite, but still. Then he faced Triple H, the then Intercontinental Champion, in a Champions Champion match. You expect this match to be at least an even Steven kind of match before Sid wins, right? You expect that. Sid, though, here's something peculiar. The WWE Champion, Sid, arrives the ring first. You think he'd be coming out second. No, 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 no. Sid got his pyro. He has a Sid pyro, the awesome pyros. Then Triple H team comes in with the IC title. He brandishes the IC title. He basically points the camera. And lo and behold, you see Sid sprinting down the aisle and attacking Triple H in one of the most hilarious sprints I ever saw. Then Sid attacks Triple H, delivers kicks, throws him back in the ring, chokes time. I think he delivers two power bombs. Triple H never laid a right hand on Sid. Triple H just slinks back outside the ring and just slinks back. He just crawls to the backstage area, and Sid wins by countout. That made me laugh like crazy. It made me laugh like crazy because Sid got none of it. Sid had no time, no room for Triple H crap. It just was straight business for Sid. And this is why I remember fondly Sid. It's like always made me laugh. I think it might be one of the champions of most unintentionally funny person in wrestling. He was menacing, and then his promos that were supposed to be intimidating were more hilarious than anything. I miss Sid. R.I.P. Sid. That's number six. Number five, The Ultimate Warrior versus Triple H at WrestleMania 12. Again, I love that basically this. That's the first ever WrestleMania of Triple H. And supposedly nowadays, if there's thumbnails of that match on WWE.com, it's Triple H about to hit the piggy on Hunter, on Warrior. When we all know what happened. And honestly, there's no shame. You were like a mid-carder facing a returning main eventer who was former WWE champion in a time where not many people were WWE champion. It's like get over yourself. Anyway, that match, you think it's gonna be 7, 8 minutes? Honestly, I think Triple H really wanted to be 12 minutes. It's like why? Why should it be 12 minutes? And honestly, who are you? So And it's hilarious because Warrior comes out and basically where rumors of appearance and like he looks better than ever and had a great light show and fireworks. Like I love that the Warrior sign on his entrance and basically near the apron of the ring and you saw basically the different lights and different Warrior symbol in the ring. And as soon as he comes in, he sets up himself. Triple H hits him from the back with some right hands. The Irish ropes him in the ropes. Warrior ducks, but undeterred. Triple H kicks him in the stomach and delivers the pedigree. And you think, wow, it's gonna be over that quickly. But no, Triple H can't even cover Warrior. Warrior just sits right back up. Cheap afterwards. Three right hands, one flying shoulder block, press slam, splash, 1, 2, 3. 90 seconds well spent. And oh, by the way, Warrior pinned Triple H with by laying one knee across the Triple H. 1, 2, 3. And knowing what Triple H is nowadays, I still maintain it's hilarious. And now, the top four. I know I'm going to pick on the same organization, but still. Number four, Hulk Hogan and Sid versus Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett from Nitro 2000. I put in my most hilarious WCW Hulk Hogan moments, and I'm going to put it on there. And the same description applies. It's Hulk Hogan and Sid facing Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett. Sid is basically the babyface in peril. Sid is the babyface in peril. Is the monster there? Is the babyface in peril. Hogan tags in. He takes care of Scott Steiner, Jeff Jarrett, and for some reason I just realized all of them. If you use Psycho Sid, use Hulk Hogan, Scott Steiner, and Jeff Jarrett, all of them are alliterative names, which helps in wrestling and in entertainment too. But Hogan seems to be basically getting the gist of it. He seems to be on the way to victory when out of nowhere, Sid delivers a choke slam to Hulk Hogan turns heel. This by itself is not hilarious. It's just stupid. But it's when Sid decided, I'm going to pin my own tag team partner. And lo and behold, the referee counts the cover 1, 2, 3. And Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner win over Sid and Hulk Hogan when Sid pins Hulk Hogan. Jarrett and Steiner had nothing to do with the finish, and they still end up winning. And you wonder why I'm thinking it's hilarious. Anyway, that's number four. Number three, coincidentally enough, another Hulk Hogan tag match. Hulk Hogan and the Giant team against Goldberg, Kevin Nash. On paper, that's a dream match. The leader of the NWO, Black and White, and his Giant versus Big Sexy Kevin Nash, another Giant, representing the NWO Wolfpack, and the WCW Kingpin at that point, WCW World Heavyweight Champion in Goldberg. And it wasn't a great match, it was a good match, but then the finish happened. Like, I think the NWO tried to come in, tried to interfere. Hogan, I think, was fighting with Kevin Nash. I don't know what happened with Giant. I think that the NWO Wolfpack took care of him. All of a sudden, Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, came in the ring, assaulted Bill Goldberg, Irish whip Goldberg in the rope, big mistake, and he got hit by a spear. Goldberg then hit a jackhammer on Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. But for some reason, Goldberg decides to pin Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and the referee still counts 1, 2, 3. So, to recapitulate, to sum it up, Goldberg, Kevin Nash defeat Hulk Hogan and the Big Show, Giant. When Goldberg pins Kurt Hennig, was not in the match, was not implicated in the match. And you wonder why it's hilarious. That's WCW, baby. That's gonna be our catchphrase. That's WCW, baby. Anyway, top two. What could be the top two? Number two, we discover again with Deathlock Pro Wrestling, Ric Flair versus Kidman at Thunder 2000. Boy, was there a lot of crap in WCW 2000. Ric Flair faces, first of all, Ric Flair in street clothes, Ric Flair with t-shirt and street clothes, facing against Billy Kidman. And things are on the way. Ric Flair seems to be on his way to victory when all of a sudden the Filthy Animals comes in, which is normal, boring, stupid, predictable, but normal. And Hulk Hogan, for some reason, is ally of Ric Flair because they're Millionaires Club, and Kevin Nash appear to help out clear up the Millionaires Club. Hogan, I think, because he was feuding Kidman, and Nash because he used to be part of the NW with Hogan. And all of a sudden, when the entire Filthy Animals were taken care of, Mike Awesome runs the ring. Mike Awesome, the former ECW World Champion, might add, I think was even ECW Champion when he started, decides to run the ring like a week or so after debuting, and immediately gets his ass kicked by everybody. He doesn't even lay so much of a punch. He just gets his ass kicked by Hogan and Nash. They have a big boot, uh, then a jackknife powerbomb from Nash. And then out of nowhere, Kevin Nash adds the hilarity of the matter when he grabs the microphone and says, "Sorry, Rick, but I gotta say, the winner of this match as a result of outside interference, Mike Awesome." Except Mike Awesome never was a participant in the match. It was Ric Flair's Kidman, and so the winner between Ric Flair and Billy Kidman is Mike Awesome. And to top it all off, Hogan, Flair, and Nash all laugh and point at Mike Awesome and delivers crotch chop to him. I mean, he paid more than ECW, but you got to think for yourself. People say that WCW ruined Mike Awesome. No. I think Mike Awesome took the money because Paulie didn't want to pay. So if anything, Paulie ruined Mike Awesome. And then Mike Awesome wanted to get paid. But still, that's hilarious. And number one, it has to be said, is again 1000. It's Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair uncensored 1000. What is it with Ric Flair, Hogan, and a strap? That doesn't go well. I was that close to saying Hogan, Flair, and uncensored 99. I wasn't really thinking Hogan, Flair at uncensored. It's just magic happening. Magic. I mean, it's an honorable mention, Hogan versus Flair at uncensored 99, when a supposed first blood match ends with uh with a pinfall. That's hilarious. But that's not the reason. It's uncensored to Ric Flair uncensored 1000 because, okay, first of all, the world title match between Sid and US champion Jeff Jarrett is not even the main event when it should be. And Sid could not even beat Jeff Jarrett. It's only need Hogan's help to do this. And Hogan had to get the main event spot for the pay-per-view, brothers. So he faced Hogan versus Ric Flair, brother. And as we know, brother, Hogan has to do Hogan, brother. And he has to win, brother. So Hogan, for no reason, decides it's a good idea to beat Ric Flair in a strap match. And that kind of, those promos are hilarious. But it's not good enough to just beat him in a strap match. It what makes me laugh is like three boots, three big right hands, Irish whip, big boot, leg drop. Then he goes for the pin, and it counts 1, 2, 3. You think the match finished? No, he touched all four corners. So he pinned Ric Flair in a strap match, then touched all corners in a strap match. So basically, he won twice. It wasn't good enough pinning Ric Flair once. He had to beat him twice in one night. If you look at the trilogy of Hogan Flair at Uncensored, he always had to up the ante. One, he had to beat him when he was in the same match as him. The other year, okay, he lost, but he need basically Hogan. He had to beat Flair, the one of pioneers, pillars of WCW, to turn heel against one of the biggest invaders of WCW, one of the most hated guys of the NWO, if not the most hated guy in the NWO. He had to turn heel. He wrestled the match at Uncensored 99. Hogan wrestled like a face at 99. And he needed Ric Flair was the face, which was the one time that he expected to cheat, but on his own. No, he needed all the interference in the world to actually beat Hulk Hogan. And the next year, Hogan decided, I'm going to beat you twice because I put you over last year, brother. Unbelievable. Like, WCW, I miss WCW. Like, people can talk about Ray and Eddie, for Ray and Eddie, Chris Jericho, and Dean Malenko, uh, the Radical startup a match, and I do miss those. I miss the Sting era. I miss the NWO. I mean, the Bret Hart match actually worked. But also missed the crap. I'll be honest, I missed the crap. It was hilarious. Like seeing this or seeing Kevin Nash win a no DQ Raven's Nest match against Raven by DQ. Things like that I miss. I think wrestling takes itself way too seriously now, and despite breaking kayfabe, so it's like, which one do you want, guys? And I think we need a bit more humor in wrestling. So there you go. Those are my top 20 best unintentionally funny matches, or my top 20 list of the most unintentionally funny moments or funny match in wrestling that made me laugh like out loud. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. See you guys later. Bye.